Hi, this is Christina, Releasing for a Better Life. And I want to remind you again what this program is about. It is about releasing everything in your life, both good and bad, releasing it to God and allowing God to send messages back or information back, or your angels or whoever you want to release this to, and allow them to give you messages back and figure out how to heal your life. And you can use this for a multitude of things, whether you want to use it for the law of attraction, whether you want to use it to lose weight, to improve relationships, or like me, to let go of anxiety and stress. So I want to talk to you about an interesting thing, and I want to remind you again that these videos are like a live journal that I've invited you into, and it's about my experiences doing this program, and how it affects me on a daily basis. And I'll admit, I'll be the first to admit, I use it, and sometimes I'm not as faithful as I should be, and I'm trying to improve it. But what I want to talk about this week with you, something I've really kind of I guess I've discovered a part that I didn't work on like I should, but I decided to use it a little bit more. And how this happened is I felt like sometimes, like I talk to my husband all the time about things, and we review things and go through them, and we have some great conversations. But we also have children, we have a life, we have a lot of things going on. So he's not always available to talk to. Also, there's things maybe I don't want to talk to him about. Sometimes things are just personal, or they're things that maybe I don't think he might be able to attach to, or I don't want to talk his ear off. And so I started doing a lot of releasing about this. So how do I deal with this? I mean, short of getting a therapist and go blabbing everything to, not blabbing, but talking to a therapist, how do you deal with this in a day-to-day life? How do you make this okay in a day-to-day life where you feel good about who you are, and through just talking and getting out things that are bothering you daily? Because I believe you should be able to talk daily about things going on, about insecurities or issues. And besides just releasing's great. It's great, but sometimes you need to talk and work through it. And when you're able to talk and work through it, actually your releases are better. And so I thought, oh, you can talk to yourself, and that's great. But then I came across an article after I said this, and I told you messages come in various ways, and they can come via articles, they can come via other people sometimes, they can come via conversations, you just never quite know. But this one, I happened to be, I asked that, and and I released it, and I said, it's not that I don't love my husband, but I need somewhere else to start expressing have a chance to just talk about things that concern me, or issues that, whatever. And an article came across in friends, well, it's a friend's house, that was just sitting there about talking to your angels. And I said, oh, do you talk to your angels? And she looked at me, she said, no, I don't actually know where the paper came from. I don't know where that, article came from. But she said, yeah, maybe my husband brought it. I don't know. So anyway, she let me have it, and I took it and I read it, and it talked about, and that we all have these angels present. And it's okay to just talk to them. As a matter of fact, it's good to talk to them. It's good to talk to them all the time, and to actually hold long conversations and let them be your therapist. Let them help you through some of the stuff that you're not able to get through on your own, or that maybe you don't want to talk to with your spouse. And maybe you can't afford a therapist, or maybe it's not even about a therapist. It's just about having a chance to talk. I mean, I know sometimes when I come home from work, I just need to talk about what happened. I don't need, my husband's not there. He's got his own stuff going on. He doesn't need to hear endless things about what happened at work. And so I thought, what a great thing to do. This is an answer. So I've started doing this daily, more than daily, sometimes several times a day. I'll just take a few minutes, and I'll, like if something bothered me, or I have a thought, I'll just spend a few minutes talking to my angel. And it's amazing how much I've gotten from this. So let me talk about, for as an example, I had some things kind of go on, and like I told you, I do tend to run kind of a high anxiety world, and I've not made that a secret. And although my anxiety is so much better, there's times it does still flare up, and I can't help that. It probably will always be. I mean, it's natural, right? Anxiety is part of our lives. So I had some big events happen, and it did. And then I had some things not happen that I was expecting to happen, and I got kind of thrown into this like anxiety drive, which leads me to a kind of a long-term, a kind of depression. It spirals into this for me. And although I know now that I can release and get out of it, I wanted to talk about my feelings in it, because I don't know if any of you have ever kind of hit those realms. Sometimes you just need to talk about what you're feeling while you're in it. Like, you feel like if you just let it go, you're going to lose out on why it's there in the first place. And there's always a reason for these things coming, for me. And again, this is my journal. So I know for me, when I'm hitting high anxiety or I'm hitting high levels of stress and which leads to me kind of a depression, for me, I know that I need to talk about it a little bit. I need to get through it. There's reasons for it, and I need to understand it. Sometimes it's my own insecurity. Sometimes it was events that were out of my control, and when I talk about them and I have a chance to go through them, I realize that pretty quickly, that this is, events that I didn't have. It was just an event. It was just something, and I chose to be stressed over it when I shouldn't. So anyway, instead of my husband this time, I had this long conversation with my angel, and I said, Angel, I'm going to try this. I know you're here with me, and I'm going to talk to you. And I had a really fantastic long conversation, probably about 40 minutes. And I let things go. I just let it go. And so I don't understand this. I don't understand. It was like the most free flow conversation, and it was wonderful because it was all one-sided, which it was fun sometimes to be in all one-sided conversation, having to interact with anybody. You can just talk, and I just let it go, and I said, I'm ready to talk this through, and after a little while, then I actually was able to really go through a big kind of release, and said, I don't even know everything I said, but I'm going to release the entire conversation. So I released the entire conversation and came out, and almost, I would say, within just a few minutes, listen, I felt great. I was excited about the future. I was excited about life. I was excited about what's coming forward, and a new renowned faith came in me. So it was just astonishing, as if the conversation was heard, and I had like a calming effect. And, like someone had given me a big hug and said, it's okay. You're going to be okay. Thank you for talking to me, and everything's fine. It was astonishing. It's hard to explain. It's like when you have a chance to cry, and you have that one person who really seems to get you. That's what it felt like. So now I've done this for other things too. I had a time when I was really excited, and I just went out and said, I'm so excited, I can feel this. And it was like, I was going to feel a pat on my back, like, yes, that's what you want. You want to feel excited. You want to feel great. So I can see this has been tremendous, and I want to start using this more. And it did help me really clarify what I was thinking before I released. Like I said, you want to release the good and the bad, but having a chance to just talk, whether it's for 2-3 minutes, or whether it's for 30 minutes, or a couple hours, if that's what you need, it's relieving, it's great, and it gives you a chance to figure out what you want to release in the first place. Maybe what you haven't released. It gives you a chance to really go through things. So anyway, I would definitely suggest this if you've never done this before, to go ahead and try just talking to your angel. And I'm not going to say it can be anything else. I would say it needs to be your angel. Don't worry about getting answers back. Don't worry about hearing anything. Just take a moment and talk about whatever you want to talk about, whatever is bothering you. This is a chance to actually, talk and not have to worry about anybody else in the room with that conversation. And I promise you, the first time you do it, you will feel the difference. Just having a full conversation, not asking necessarily for what you want. I mean, you can, but just being able to talk, say, you know what, I had a good day or I had a bad day and she annoyed me and he didn't, or I don't know, whatever you need to talk about, you'll be amazed at the clarity and the freedom you feel of being able to do this with your angel. So anyway, I hope this helped you all. I know it's helped me. It's been a tremendous thing, and I'm definitely going to use it more. I'm really glad I found this. And if you have any questions or comments, or you have any issues, or you want any suggestions from me, please just leave it in the comment box, and I do my best to get back to everybody. Thanks a lot, and have a great week.